What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my TikTok. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Now, I want to jump back into this topic about how I found Atlantis. You see, what the powers that be like to do is play games. See, they love to keep you on this hamster wheel. Like, where's Atlantis? It's over here, it's over there, it's lost, it's a mystery. When whole time we live on the continents of Atlantis. You guys, the Holy Spirit is guiding me to these books. I had no prior knowledge of any of these things. This is what it looks like. Because nobody else is bringing out this information that is vital, very important to our civilization and the people that rightfully and righteously belong to these lands. Now, I'm going to jump into this book called The Lost Continents. And in this book, they damn near, if not, admit that America is a surviving piece of Atlantis. Now, remember when I spoke about the Carthaginians? Well, it says that they inhabited an island called the Fortunate Isles. Now, after doing a little bit more reading and research, I figured out that the Fortunate Isles is really the Canary Islands today. Now, if you read at the bottom paragraph, you guys, and feel free to screenshot this information. Remember, the Most High kings and crowns those who seek out a thing. It says, furthermore, it was generally held that Sicily had been torn loose from Italy by an earthquake, and that the Strait of Gibraltar had been opened up by a similar convulsion of nature. Now remember, you guys, I spoke about Atlas' brother, Guederos, owning and ruling and controlling the lower part of Atlantis will be Cadiz, Spain today. And that also piggybacks off my theory about Azores being another broken piece of Atlantis. Now, Azores is located in Brazil. Now check this out. It says America was sometimes part of the great land which Plato called it the Atlantic Island, and that the kings of that island had some intercourse between the people of Europe and Africa. It goes on to say, but when it happened that this island became a sea, time wore out the remembrance of remote countries, and that upon this occasion, namely by reason of the mud and dirt, and other rubbish of this kind. For when it sunk, it became a sea, which at first was full of mud, and thereupon could not be sailed. Wouldn't you guys agree that this lines up with Columbus saying how he tried to come over to the fourth part, which would be the Western continents? Remember, he tried to come over here, but they struggled so bad. And remember, anything that these people call myths, it's just simply things they can't figure out. So they just rerouted to a myth, a lie. And they also had an agenda. They wanted to cover up the true power and replace it with their pope and their ideologies. Side note, this is what gets me, you guys. How we have all these palm-colored astrologists, and now everybody's a spiritual conspiracy theorist uncovering the truth of America. What gets me is how tickled they are about finding random pyramids and structures here in America, as if they didn't colonize this place. As if they were always here and that they have no idea why these structures are now popping up everywhere. It's like, are you serious? But I digress. Oh, it's more. It's more information I'm about to serve to you. Listen to this. Europe and Africa, the Baltic and Black Sea, and Caspian were populated by civilized nations. Now, if you guys go back to my last video, I believe on Thursday, I talked about the true meaning and the true word for a civilized wives group of people, and it really was the word demon. If you guys need a refresher, here it is. In like manner, God, in his love of mankind, placed over us the demons, who are a superior race, and they, with great care and pleasure to themselves, and no less to us, taking care of us, and giving us place and reverence and order and justice, never failing. to make the tribes of men happy and peaceful. Now, who is the only group of people they refer to as tribes? Remember, you guys, they wrote these books. We didn't write this book. They wrote it. It goes on to say, Atlantis, through civilized Atlantean governors who by their wisdom preserved peace and created a golden age for all the populations under their control. They were the demons. That is the knowing ones, the civilized. Now we got that out of the way. It says they were populated by civilized nations. That was the true antediluvian world. Okay, and antediluvian means before the flood. This goes on to say that the gods and goddesses of ancient Greece, the Phoenicians, the Hindus, and the Scandinavians were simply the kings, queens, and heroes of Atlantis. Case closed, y'all. Case closed. They just admitted. They just told you. So the only thing we need to question is, who are these people now? And if they are the true people of Atlantis like these people say they are, why aren't they bringing out this information? We are in the last days. Last days meaning last days of Gentile rulership. The Most High said all knowledge will be revealed to us. Hence why the Holy Spirit guided me to all of these books to bring out and share this information with you guys. Well, because could it be it's in my blood spiritually that these are my ancestors? This is my true lands? To me, it makes sense. Since why they don't want to pay reparations. And it goes on to say that the mythology of Egypt and Peru represented the original religion of Atlantis, which was sun worship. And if you don't recall, when I first started my TikTok back on Halloween, I broke out the Irish Wisdom book. And it spoke about a group of people that inhabited Ireland and how they were sun worshippers. How about now the theory is Atlantis was the first motherland, broke apart by volcanic convulsions, and the continents that surrounded her spread out, sunk, all types of things happened. And then the new world will have been Japheth's line, which will be Ireland. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this short clip of their scientists admitting this.
Scientists claim that Icelandia was a region between Greenland and Scandinavia that was more than 230,000 square miles, but is now underwater. The Earth was once a large pizza pie, with all the continents connected to each other millions of years ago, otherwise known as Pangaea. The North Atlantic region we know today was dry land from about 335 million to 175 million years ago. For many years, scientists and geologists assumed that the North Atlantic Ocean was birthed as Pangaea began to split apart roughly 200 million years ago. With volcanoes in the region where Iceland is, the country came to be just 60 million years ago as it broke off and sailed away from all the other lands. And since the Earth was like a large pizza pie, it divided like one. Many of the lands split up into many large and small pieces, creating the continents we know today. But this new theory suggests that the result of Pangaea's splitting left out some land that stretched for around 200 miles. And just about 10 million years ago, that piece of land submerged in the waters on the eastern and western side, leaving the tip of the land, which is now Iceland. When plate tectonics move, they grind on each other, which gave shape to our current landscape, all thanks to the mantle. This new radical theory goes against everything written in history books and what science.
So what do you guys think? You think that this theory explains why I found about Abraxas, other land masses like Ewa around the Carousel Ocean? I think this explains why they're so reluctant on reparations. Because you see, they will have to give back the entire western globe, the whole fourth part. One of my favorite teachers is Big Judah. He speaks about how these people come from the East. They have an Eastern mindset, which is nothing but a bunch of confusion, arguing, and debating type of people, discontent with everything. See, they only heard about the Western world. They didn't know for sure. And to me, this would explain why they always point out how civilized we are. I mean, you guys, there's no reason why my videos aren't going viral. But there is a reason, because they trying to suppress this information. Truly trying to suppress this information. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. And don't forget to like, put your comments in the comment section. Let's get the conversation started. Do you believe that America is the surviving piece of Atlantis? Do you believe that the western fourth part land masses were once a part of Atlantis? I don't know, you guys were pretty close to the truth. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Holla.